I mean, I've got junk all over the place.
I found a very tiny schematic of the Logistical 1A vacuum system and dropped it into the Friday Night Twitch chat along with the link to where I found it.
Okay, well, dang, now I gotta look at that on my phone. Yeah, it's like, it's one of those things. I was just like scrolling through it, like looking at old like Philco and Crosley radios, because every once in a while he's got something wild on there that I contemplate. And he has like a really cool looking old TV listed as well. And I was like, ooh, I'm thinking about this TV. And then I went like 2 pages further, and it was like scanning electron microscope from the 1950s. And I was like, wait, what?
Okay, if it's a Model 1, it's pre-1964. If it's a 1A, it's 1964 or later.
Have you figured out what the visual differences are between the 1 and the 1A?
Not yet.
Because I can, here, since I've got access to my phone here, I'll post some pictures of it. Let me go up here. I gotta save the pictures first. I mean, like, the pictures are atrocious. They're just bad. Like, it's clearly been stored someplace for many years, and they only cleared out enough stuff to kind of get like a general sense of the machine. All right, let's go here. I go Friday Night Twitch. Yeah, I saw that same picture for the vacuum system. That's a cool little diagram. So these are the 4 pictures. This is it. These are the only 4 pictures that they have. And the description like literally just says Siemens scanning electron microscope circa 1950s. That's it. That's all you get. But it has a starting bid of $0 on it, so.
Are those screw-in fuses on the back panel?
That's what it looks like to me, like the ones that you would see in old houses and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is very cool. Like, what a cool piece of like scientific history, right?
Okay. The indicator lights on the 1A looks like there's a single indicator light and a couple of things below it. On the 1 is 2 indicator lights, like the one that you sent the pictures of.
So it's potentially an early 1950s era 1.
Yes, it looks like it's an Logistical 1. So mid 1950s. Wow.
Right, like what a phenomenal piece of history. That would, I mean, it would be exactly the type of thing that I would want, right? Like, it's 100% up my alley. I'm really glad that I have the OJ, because it's like also fits this kind of thing that I'm headed down perfectly, but I kind of wish I'd have found that thing before the OJ, because I don't have space for both, I'm afraid.
Well, this one would be 2 meters tall by a meter square footprint, basically.
Oh, that's pretty small. A meter square footprint. It's 3 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah, it's 880 millimeters by 1,025.
But then you'll need a desk beside it for monitoring and controlling.
The vat on the bottom, is that for water or is that for oil?
Hard to say.
I got no clue.
That may be a desiccator. It may be full of desiccant.
Like, I didn't even know this thing existed. I didn't even know, like, of the existence of this type of thing until earlier this afternoon.
Whoa. The piece, there's a lifting ring in one of the pictures. Just, if it is oil, you know what kind of oil it's going to be, so just be careful.
Okay, the big cylinder is the vacuum reservoir, and there is an airlock on it so that you can block it off change samples, and not have to draw as much vacuum back down.
Oh, that sounds like exactly like the OJ, actually.
I didn't mean. I spoke wrong. The picture with the fuses in it. If you look at the bottom, there's a square. It's not a cylinder. It's a square, bolted together vault with a little lifting ring on it. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah,
Flathead.
the bottom.
Well, that may actually be the vacuum reservoir, and the other one is the desiccant container.
Only one way to find out.
You guys telling me
Yeah.
to buy a 1950s scanning electron microscope? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it depends how much you want for it. They could be insane on the price.
Right now, the starting bid is 0.
When does it end?
7 days. So it just got listed. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it. And this is a moral conundrum that may solve itself, you know? But
Yeah.
like I was saying earlier, this is listed on a auction site from a guy who pretty much only ever does vacuum tube radios and TVs and stuff like that. Like some of my very early vacuum tube lots that I got from this guy. And I got some HP test equipment from him. He's like, essentially it's an old ham auction thing. And so this is like, ham guys are not interested in this type of stuff. I don't know why he's listing this. He doesn't even have it locally. It's in Little Rock. Now, the thing is that I have family that lives about an hour north of Little Rock. And they would be happy to have me come visit. So I could drive up, visit family, stay for the night, load that thing up the next morning and drive back, make it a 2-day thing, and then be home with a 1950s scanning electron microscope, and then have to like completely think about how to rearrange the room again.
I found a brochure on the Element Scope 1, but it's in German.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's very much so a German thing. But I feel like, oh, I just tore up a bunch of paper. Nice. But I feel like that at least this one had been modified or something to work on 60 cycle, because there's no way that they would have required that you have a 50 cycle to 60 cycle converter. In you go.
It's 100 kilovolt. Scanning
That's
electron microscope.
way up there. 100 kilovolt?
Yeah.
Jesus. The OJ is only 25. They must have
Well,
been struggling.
The length of the tube makes sense for it to be 100 kV.
It might also
length of
be
the-
a transmission electron microscope, a TEM as opposed to a SEM. I'm not entirely sure what the like exact difference is between the two.
Kan mit den wieder Straßenspannungen 40, 60,
Yeah, where's
80
Lucas?
100 kilovolt. Betreiben werden. So it can be either 40, 60, 80, or 100 kilovolt.
That's crazy pants, man. That's a lot. I wonder if they have that much, if they needed that much energy because they couldn't get the vacuum low enough. Whereas like something like the OJ, which is ultra high vacuum, you can run maybe a potentially a lower electron energy.
I think it was saying like 10 to the negative fourth vacuum.
Okay. Yeah, because I think the OJ is going like down to 10 to the negative ninth or something like that.
Yeah.
So the microscopy.org site, that's the, I guess, Microscopy Association of America. Apparently they have a 1964 Elmiscop 1A that's in operation.
Oh, heck yeah. That's awesome.
So you'll have help. I'm assuming these people are into this stuff, so you can at least have a working sample if you need help getting it working.
Yeah, I feel like you don't have a 1950s electron microscope going by accident. Like, you gotta be into it.
Okay, it can handle down to its imaging is always better than 15 angstroms, and its theoretical limit is 3 angstroms.
That's
Wow.
ridiculous. For the 1950s? That's insane.
Yeah.
They weren't messing around, man.
And apparently they have a 57 unit that was owned by U.S. Steel in Pittsburgh.
That makes sense.
I mean, how cool would it be to have like a scanning electron microscope parked next to a Bendix G15, right? Both from the same year.
Yeah. The normale Hochvacuum, which is normal high vacuum, is 10 to the negative 4th floor.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think UHV is like 10 to the negative 9 to 10 to the negative 13, and then you have extremely high vacuum or something like that that's beyond.
Fifty or 60 hertz.
Oh, nice. They were being proactive.
220 volts, maximum 3.3 kilovolt amp. So
Okay.
3,000 watt.
Das ist Nummer Wang.
Huh.
Like, did we find somebody who can read
Oh.
German?
What happens when you put the extremely high vacuum tank on one side of a tube, compressed air tank on the other side of a tube, and open the valve between the two?
Things move very quickly.
Yeah, explosiveness.
That's exactly how they build hypersonic shock wind tunnels.
Ah,
That makes sense.
I mean, that's 50 stuff too, and they're still around, but it's insane stuff.
See, I was just gonna say the content, YouTube content, is what happens when you do that.
okay, the maximum temperature.
Sorry.
Oh, excuse me. The maximum temperature of the cooling water is 30 degrees centigrade. The minimum is 5.
Oh yeah, that works perfectly because the stuff coming out of the ground is probably going to be about 60 degrees all the time.
Yeah.
Which is right in the middle of that zone.
Oh.
Is it 200? Is it 240 volt or 120?
220 volt.
Okay. I mean, I've got 220 in the room, so it's not a big deal. But
Yeah. The shipping weight is 1,200 kilograms.
oh, they aren't messing around. Oh, all right. I don't even know if I can tow that.
Wow, that's 10 of me.
The vacuum pump is 560 kilograms.
Jesus.
Wait, no, I did the math wrong. That's like 15 or 18 of me. God, freaking.
The vacuum
Yeah.
pump. Is that the big cylinder?
That's the pump, and then there's, and it sounds just shrunk. I'm just say, wow, these technical terms are breaking my high school German. Oh, Schmannen here.
I mean, that may be a deal breaker right there. Like, I don't know how I would get 1,200 kilograms. That's, what's that in pounds? 4,000 pounds, something?
Oh, the high voltage generator. Okay,
Oh, I imagine that thing is heavy.
is 605 kilograms.
The
So-
high voltage generator weighs more than the entire Auger spectroscope. That's like 1,200
fortunately-
pounds.
Fortunately, using Firefox, you can select sections of text and say, translate selection to English. The total net weight is 1,200 kilograms. So that is 2,645 pounds.
So all
I mean, I could tow
all the
that, but
vacuum pumps and everything are internal too?
I'm not 100% sure, but
I was gonna say total weight
I
sounds
think
like
they're internal to the rack. Yes, because the high voltage power supplies are in there, and yeah, so yeah, I think it's all in that one rack.
Wow.
So, because those do add up to
I would-
less than the 1200 total.
I would expect the high voltage to be in there, but a lot of times the pumps are external, like the Bowman.
yeah, I mean, that makes sense for like the 80s and 70s, but I have no idea what they were doing in the 50s. Right? I mean, they were clearly out of their mind in the 1950s, so they could have just been like, "Yeah, build it all in, whatever. Who cares?" Oh my God! I just dumped Chad all over the floor.
Oh no.
Oh, that
Vacuum
sucks. Yep.
Yeah, it's not on the video.
Like raining Chad.
hallelujah, it's raining chat.
Okay, it is in 2 cabinets.
Yeah, you can see 2 cabinets in the pictures from the auction. So I kind of knew it was split up across 2 cabinets.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah. Ouch. Dang.
It's in at least 2 cabinets. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
because the one with the fuses is the high voltage cabinet, and the one with the door open is the vacuum pump cabinet. But that also looks like it's got the shelf on it for the microscope. So that looks like that may be it's in 2 cabinets.
Yeah.
What I
So
haven't
it's-
seen is like what are you looking at the image on? Like I didn't see a CRT or anything anywhere.
No.
Like that's kind of the only big thing that I haven't really figured out yet.
On page 7, there's a gal looking through what appears to be an optical scope
It is-
looking through one of the windows.
It is an optical scanning electron microscope.
Oh, so no CRT.
No CRT, no camera.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Like how do you view an image that's 3 angstroms big?
Yeah, really.
It's the electrons go through a series of lenses and pinch fields and such that expand it out and project it onto like a phosphor.
So it's not scanning.
Okay.
It is scanning, but the phosphor is showing the scanning beam. It's basically almost like it's got a built-in CRT, kind of.
I get what you're saying. So instead of interpreting the phosphor, or instead of like having an electron detector, they don't detect the electrons. They just send the electrons to a phosphor directly.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
That makes sense. All right, I got a vacuum. It's gonna get a little noisy because there's Chad
that
everywhere.
vacuum.
I think Twitch might be able to hear it.
Now I'm hearing it.
It'll mute out once the noise canceller figures out what its profile.
Yeah. Now it's quiet.
Yeah, it's cutting in and out for me.
Yeah.
Oh, does it have the capability to put it directly on the film?
It might be one of those deals where you point a Polaroid at it like a scope.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Spectrum 2 control panel, object cartridge, intermediate screen. Oh, of course, the one I wanted to translate it didn't.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's see. Where am I going to set stuff up at? Let's get you kind of set over this way. Let's pull you
And build.
you down over to here.
Yeah, that's the screen and build term. 21.
Can you take
And
a
then there's
screenshot of that and post it up in the Friday night Twitch?
Yeah, I'll get it in there in just a second here. Have to adjust things to.
Okay.
That's a virus I just put a picture of, taken through the microscope.
Wow.
All right, let's move you over to, like, say, here for now.
This is from that brochure. And you can see this is a cross-section cutaway. And you can see the optical viewing lens that's pointing right at 21, which is the actual screen that's projecting the image of the sample onto.
And Bildschirm.
Yeah, and Bildschirm, which means the image. The image screen, basically.
All right.
Let's see, that's page
Damn it.
4 of that brochure PDF. That is. So the electron gun is all the way at the top. And it goes through the focusing coils. And yeah, wow, that's just amazing. Oh,
Electromagnetic focusing. That's crazy.
22 down at the bottom is Wasserkühlung, which is water cooling. Or 23 is water cooling. 22 is the camera. Okay, that makes sense. Down at the bottom, that's the camera. That's where you put the film in.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get some stuff open here. Oh, Twitch gonna make me not Twitch. Discord gonna make me download.
I wrote a script that I wrote a script to automate that.
I got 2 laptops and a desktop, and I always forget what I've got set up on what.
Oh.
It's relatively easy to just check for the what the latest version is, and if it's newer in the currently installed version, it's just download it and install it. Like, it's fairly easy because I always found the nag annoying. So I just wrote a script that does it automatically.
Yeah, but the thing is like, I don't turn this laptop on until like right now. Right, until we're in the middle of the stream. Like, at which point you got to download it anyways. Right? Like, it can't download, the script can't automate it and download it when the whole thing's turned off and in a corner.
But you don't have to, like, the way I've got it set up, you don't have to actually interact with it. It just downloads it automatically and installs it automatically before you start it. It's like, instead of starting Discord directly, I have it so that when I log in, it starts the script instead, which will then start Discord once. Like, yeah, if no update is required, it'll just start Discord. But if an update is required, it'll download it and install it automatically, and then start it. So I never see the annoying nag and never have to interact with anything to update it.
Whoa, that picture you posted of the optical path is mental.
Isn't that wonderful?
That's amazing.
So yeah, that is projecting the image of the electron beam onto like a phosphor plate that you can direct view, and then below that 22 is a camera that you put a photographic plate film in it and take a picture from the other side of that of the image. And the next one I posted shows the film being loaded into that and it then being inserted into the camera or into the microscope.
That's incredible.
So this is purely an analog.
Wait, but the pictures that you posted, that's a different machine. See how it's got the table?
No.
The table that she's got her hands on? The one that I took pictures of doesn't have, or the one that it looks like they're selling doesn't have that wide table. Or maybe it does.
It does. There's stuff sitting on it.
Okay.
And it's a side view instead of a front view.
God, these are just terrible photos for an auction.
Yeah, the table's a lot less substantial in the auction photos, but it is there. See how it doesn't go much past the sides of the cabinet?
Yeah.
Yeah, there may be some revision there or some different models.
So pretty much what it would come down to, shit, I don't even know how it would move it once it's here. Like if we got it here, I mean, how do you move that thing? You need a forklift, but I can't get a forklift into this room.
Well, each section of it is about 600 kilograms. So it'd be 1,300 pounds.
Yeah, 1,300 pounds. You still need a forklift for that.
Yeah, you'd have
J-bars?
This is a case of you buy it, you put it in there, and then you build a room around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put it inside of a tent. I don't know.
Yeah, Thermal Dragon, an engine hoist, I don't think can lift 1,200 pounds. It might.
It's 2 meters tall.
Yeah, that's also another problem for an engine hoist.
Well, you can see the big heavy cable that comes from the high voltage rack over to the electron gun at the top in that one photo.
Yeah.
Well, it's 100 kilovolts. That's a lot of voltage. It'd be well insulated.
Yeah, that's dang, man. This is it's a bad decision. Like, let me just say, like, we'll just come straight out and be like, this is a bad decision. Now the question
look at
is,
the voltmeters.
am I going to make that
front.
bad decision? Yeah.
It's got those ones with the the needle starts in the lower right corner. That's, I don't know. That's one of those things that's freaking cool.
Oh yeah, that seems like pretty common on high voltage stuff from the 50s and whatnot, or high current stuff. Yeah, Philip, an overhead gantry would definitely be the right call here.
The sample pictures in that brochure are just amazing. You should go grab that.
I wonder if anybody's put a bid on it yet. Put a new window here.
I'm not seeing anything for deflection anywhere.
You don't deflect. You just go straight down onto it.
You flood it instead of
Yeah.
Just spews electrons everywhere.
yeah. So that's not a scanning electron microscope then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's a transmission electron microscope. A TIM.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a TIM.
Yeah. All right. So I lied. The starting bid is not 0. The starting bid is $25.
Wow.
Ooh.
Which might as well be 0, because this is like a multiple $1,000 investment that has nothing to do with your starting bid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
it says-
getting it to work.
Yeah, it says it includes 3 pieces: microscope, electronics, and transformer, to be picked up in Little Rock. And that's it. That's all of the information that you get.
Jeez.
Transformer. Is that what the big cylindrical thingy is?
That separate can might be a transformer. Yeah.
Yeah.
On page 8 of the brochure is a picture of the rack. I'll screenshot it here. Of the electronics rack.
Page 8?
Page 8. Yeah, it's PDF page 10.
I see the 2 racks, but I don't see anything else.
That's one rack, just the rear and the front view.
Oh, rear and front. Okay.
That's the high voltage rack that has a cable coming out of it that goes over to the top of the microscope.
Aha.
Oh, is that 2 pictures of the same rack? Just the back and the front, right? Yeah. Okay, that's what you're
Yes.
saying. I got it now. And that rack probably weighs 1,200 pounds.
I think that rack was 600 kilos. You go back to the specs page.
Oh, this is a terrible idea. This is the worst idea I think I've ever had.
That rack is 605 kilograms.
Oh, Lord.
It's 560 for the other rack. So
wait, there's the electronics rack, then there's the microscope rack, if you want to call it a rack. So that would be the two pieces that they're calling microscope and electronics. And then there's a transformer because it needs apparently all of the power in the world. Does it? I mean, it said what the voltage was, but it didn't say what the current was. Like 240 volts at 70 amps or something.
it says 3.3 kVA. So if you divide 3,300 by 220.
I can't do math. What are you telling me that for? Jeez, I gotta get out of programming mode.
It's only 15 amps.
Oh man, that's like less than our mill. All right. God damn it.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would say it's only like 65 amps, and then I'd be like, well, we can't power it here. We're good to go.
You put it on a 20 amp circuit.
Yeah. And it just so happens that I have 240 volt 20 amp in the room. Because that's what we wired the OJ up for. And my door is taller than 2 meters.
Yeah, that's listed as power consumption.
Yeah. It feels like just such a cool bit of history.
Oh, it is an absolutely amazing piece of equipment for the price, but dang.
Yeah, it's the weight that's a bit of a problem. Where were you seeing those weight figures at?
Those are on.
Oh, I got
page...
it. I got it down here. 560 kilograms and 605 kilograms.
Yeah, it's on page 24 of the brochure, 26 of the PDF.
Jesus Christ, where did they build it out of? Lead? That might actually be true.
If you scroll down a little bit further, there's a picture of the electronics rack, and it shows the transformer that's sitting in the bottom of it.
That's the
my
high
God.
voltage.
That's the 100 kilovolt transformer. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
That thing's full of. That tank is full of oil.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's where probably a lot of the weight is. If you can drain
It's
it,
240 kilograms for just that.
It's sealed. I don't see it. Yeah.
it's got
it,
bolts on it.
it lists that as just that transformer as weighing 530 pounds. Good Lord Almighty. I mean, that's so heavy. Like, I was like, maybe you could take the thing apart and load it up in pieces to get the overall weight, down. You're moving 5,000 pounds of equipment, but you're moving it 100 pounds at a time. But like, no, that's 600 pounds right there. You can't do.
But it does
you
come
can't
out
do
of the
jack
rack.
about
You can
that.
see-
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
it's
you can
still
slide it
600
out.
pounds. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with that?
There has to be some way to move it, because otherwise, how did they get it where it is now?
The big heavy lifting equipment. Oh yeah, so they must have some way to move it. I'm not worried about them being able to, like, if they go, yeah, we don't have a forklift or anything, you're gonna have to bring your own heavy lifting equipment, like, we're done. Like, I'm not renting forklifts and whatnot.
No. I mean, in the room okay, when you install this thing in a lab, surely they don't have a door in every lab big enough to drive a forklift or a telehandler into. There has to be some way to move it around the room.
But it was the 1950s, man.
Casters, floor jack. I don't know.
Yeah, it might have had casters on it.
It just doesn't make any sense otherwise, because you'd have to move it to do, like, if a wire went bad underneath of it, or you needed to do some maintenance, you have to knock a wall out and bring a forklift in. That's ridiculous.
Well, so 506. So it seems like each part weighs about 1,300 pounds. For a total of like 2,600 pounds between the two of them. And 1,300 pounds is not that much heavier than the Bendix, which clocks in at 1,000. And it had 4 casters on it, and you can roll it around just fine. So presumably, they put, a handful of casters underneath this thing, and you could roll it around.
I mean, 325 pounds per caster is not too unreasonable.
Well, I mean, did you see what the original Bendix G15 casters look like? They look like they were rated for about 100 pounds each, and they put 1,000 pounds on those things. The 1950s were a little fast and loose with their caster ratings. Where's Charles? Charles, I need you to come put new casters on stuff with me again. I don't even know if he's... All right. We've been squarely off topic for way too long here. Trying to figure out where did we...
I thought this was the topic.
Well, yeah, that became the topic. Yeah, AJ, you ready for another... You ready for another excursion to help me lift heavy junk?
Well, we just it only took 2 10,000-pound trucks.
I mean, I have a forklift to get it into the garage. It's just getting it from the garage into the room that's the trouble here.
Well, you only have to put the microscope in your room. You can put the high voltage power supply on the other side of the wall from it, run the cable.
Yeah, the room isn't really conducive to that. You said it's 2 meters tall?
Yeah. Getting through the door might be fun.
So my door from threshold to the top is exactly 2 meters.
Oh.
It'll clear. I mean, we got the Data 620 in and out, and that thing was huge.
But I mean, the high point is the electron gun, and it's removable.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's what's going to have to happen. A lot of it's going to have to come apart to get it in, and that might make it light enough to get it around. I hope.
Just
I don't know, like, so the electronics rack, which has the big honking transformer in it, I'm like moderately confident that that'll have casters on it. It's the other rack that I'm slightly concerned about, because you want it to be as stable as possible, right? Because any vibrations coming up through the floors will wobble your image. I mean, you're talking about measuring to 3 angstroms, right?
Yeah.
Like you can like
There is
breathe
one
on the
little
thing and get it to wobble the image.
There is one little problem with the picture of the one for sale.
There's probably,
The
I mean,
electron,
there's a whole lot of
the
problems.
electron gun is missing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's not in the top.
Yep, it's not there. That's the brackets and hinge for it, but the gun is not on it.
Now, that doesn't mean that they don't have the gun. It just means that it's not. Because you can see the cable for it, and I imagine that the gun doesn't unplug from the cable. So my theory is that I'm guessing that they pulled the gun out so they could separate the 2 cabinets from each other.
That could be, and there is yeah.
Because if you look in the other picture of that has like the weird looking fuses in the back, you can see the like almost 2-inch diameter cable coming out of the 100 kilovolt transformer on the bottom snaking up.
Yeah, that would make sense if they've got it disconnected so they can separate the racks.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like, I mean, there's not a great picture of the electron gun in the pictures that we've posted so far, but I mean, it doesn't look like the electron gun would get, like you would unplug the cable from the gun. I'm thinking that at 100 kilovolts, they just integrated that whole thing. Sue, man, you're gonna dig a hole through the door, cat. If you're gonna make a bunch of noise, come say hi at least.
Sue wants attention.
Yeah. Here you go. Kitty kitty. Say hi to the people.
Hi, kitty cat.
But you're also shedding like crazy, cat.
Well, it's that time of the year.
Yeah.
Ours are freaking out because we just had a pretty nasty storm here. We had a tornado miss us by a little bit less than a mile.
Geez, that's close. That's a little close for comfort, man.
Now, there's a lot of trees around here. Every time one gets within about 5 miles of here, it always comes down in the trees somewhere and just chokes to death on the debris, which is what happened this day. They said it was only on the ground for a little over 1,000 feet. There was no damage to property, no injury beyond just what the wind did before the tornado even got here.
All right. We'll walk away from the stream for 10 minutes starting. This is a problem that will probably solve itself. Walks back. So get into the room. Yeah. Yeah, Pentium. That's yeah. We're on the verge of making a terrible decision. Honestly, because the starting bid is $25 and there's 0 bids on it. And it's like, can you say no to a transmitting, what is it, transmission electron microscope from the 1950s for $25? I mean, I don't know where the heck it would go. Like, I mean, I could maybe put it where the NCR is, and then the NCR would have to move somewhere. But it would look like, I mean, tell me it would not look absolutely dope now that I've got the camera pointed in the right direction, to be like G15 peripherals, electron microscope stuff from the 1950s. Like, that would just be a dope wall.
It looks very science fiction-y.
Yeah. Then I have no clue where I'd put, but I mean, the footprint of it is probably not much bigger than the NCR. It's just taller. And I have, I have vertical space there. I don't know where the hell the NCR would go. Problem for future David. Dang. All right. Well, I haven't bought it yet, so let's not get too out of control here. But it is very, very, very cool. I've managed to bend this like super flimsy aluminum that's on here. I mean, I can bend it with one finger. It's just I grabbed it wonky, put too much weight on it, and the whole thing tweaked. All right, so where did we leave off on this? Yeah, step 1, logistics planning. Step 2, bid. Step 3, cry. Yep. Yeah, Clyde, for $25, like, it's absolutely worth it. But I mean, how do you get it? Like, how do I get it home? How do I get it in here? So many questions. I'm hoping that it gets bid up over $1,000, because then I'll just be like, nope, that's not for me.
What is this that you're?
Are you just joining? We've been talking about it for like the last hour.
I was kind of distracted on. I was a bit distracted.
It's a transmission electron microscope from 1955.
A Siemens. What was that? Elmascope 1?
Yeah, an Elmascope. I don't know how you pronounce it. Oh, where's my... Ah, there we go. I even remembered what page we were on. Yeah, I've got the 960B, 980B power supply maintenance manual, and that's unfortunately not the correct manual for this. Yeah, Clyde, buy first, plan later. I have a bad habit of that. The biggest truck can get an all-paid trip to the Sagi workshop. Yeah, resize. That's a great idea. Yeah, Roy. I mean, there is. So I sent the pictures to a guy that I was talking to about getting a scanning electron microscope down here. I haven't heard back from him, but he also works with like museums that like scanning electron microscope museums that are all about this. So we'll see what he says. He might say, hey, can we bid on this because we need it for a museum? At which point I'll be like, yes, please do. But if he goes, I can't afford it, nobody else can afford it, you should get it, then I'm in a world of hurt. Yeah, Hecky Bus, that's the problem, is that it's calling my name, man. Yeah. All right, let's let's shift gears away from the poor decision that I'm about to make, and see if we can figure out where the heck we left off 2 weeks ago on this thing, and what may potentially not be working.
I meant to say earlier, as the old saying goes, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? I mean, I kind of thought that's what I was already doing in this room by putting an Auger electron spectroscope in here, but apparently when I overdo something, I really overdo it. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
AJ, I caught about every third word of that.
We're all here to enable you.
That's the unfortunate part. I need somebody that goes, no, don't be an idiot. But then I wouldn't listen to that person anyways, so it doesn't really matter.
Woohoo!
Yeah. That's our very gross 200 microfarad or 300 microfarad. I forgot about that.
Hold out for a scanning electron microscope.
No, well, it's the 1950s part that really excites me. Like if it was a nice jail from the 1970s or whatever, I wouldn't even think twice about it. I wouldn't be interested in it. But the fact that, like, how often are you going to stumble across an electron microscope from the 50s, right? Like those had to be incredibly rare.
Yeah, I would think so.
All right. What do we want to probe here? We want to probe something. All right, so we've got our 5-volt sense, which I think is working correctly.
I'm trying to remember where we were last time. Didn't we have a 12-volt something that was not coming into regulation?
So the whole thing isn't coming into regulation. So the primary 5-volt rail, it floats up to like 2.5 volts, but as soon as you put a load on it, it drops down to 0.3 or 0.4 volts or 0.2 volts or something like that. Which means and what we saw was that the regulators, the regulator transistors, which are like the big pass transistors that go for the 5 volts, are not kicking on. So the control signals for those, like the base never sees the correct voltage to turn on, so they're never going to pass voltage. So looking at the base from those, we kind of followed that down, and that was kind of where we stopped. We did see, like, coming into U6, which is a series of open collector AND gates, I think. We were seeing the oscillation from switching.
I thought we saw a good-looking 5-volt reference somewhere.
Yeah, we do. I think we have a good 5-volt reference coming in as well. So I think you're right about that. I think we have a proper 5-volt reference being generated, and we have the oscillation happening for the switch mode oscillator, which is 60 kilohertz. So we've got our 60 kilohertz clock, we've got our reference voltage, but nothing is ever the signal that is supposed to turn on. So I don't know if you have the manual open. I'll drop the manual into Friday Night Twitch here. Now, this doesn't exactly match the one that I've got, because I've got a 980A, and this is for a 960B or a 980B, but it's very similar. So all it really means is that we have some slight differences, and my IC and transistor numbers don't line up. So we just got to kind of like look at topology and follow some traces to figure out where we're going. So I think we're back to, like, let's confirm where we were on U6. I'm on page 109 of the schematic, by the way, if anybody is, or 109 of that PDF. U6 is going to be an open collector AND gate, I believe. That's why they draw it that way. Let me double check that.
Yeah, I thought I had the PDF from last week, but I can't find it, so I'll download it again.
I thought it was going to tell me what U6 was. You just
Where'd you say you were on page 106?
109.
Okay, all right, I got it.
Yeah, so U6 I think is an open collector AND gate, which is going to be a 7409 maybe, or a 7403. I don't know which one of those that is. Yeah, so it's a 7409. And so we should have oscillations coming into 9 and 13 on that, which I'm pretty sure we checked.
Yeah, I remember now. We were checking pins on that thing, and
Yeah.
something was upside down, or
I need to get a Sharpie out and start marking stuff here. And then I need to get my scope out. So there's pin 1. So you are pin 1, which means you pin 1, 4. Okay. So if we check pins, well, so pins 9 and 13.
okay, I think I remember what we were doing. I think we were looking for that 20. The thing we're looking at is AR1 on the diagram, right?
Yeah, we hadn't quite found AR1. That's right.
Right. We were looking for AR1, and we were looking specifically for that 21.5, and we weren't seeing it on where it was supposed to be. But then we thought we were looking at the IC upside down or some crap like that, and that's the last thing I can remember.
Okay, let me see if I can find the other 2 gates of U6 here and see if they make sense for what I'm seeing on the board. There's U6, 4, and 5. They show us tied together. So 1, 2, 3. It could be tied together on the top. But I can see that for certain U6, 1, and 2 are tied together on my board here. But I don't see U6, 1, and 2. Oh, there we are, U6A. 1 and 2 are not tied together on here, so it's possible that U6A and U6B are switched. Let's see here. 9 and 13 should be going to U58, which is a flip-flop. So that's going to be a 7474. So let's see if I can figure out where 9 and 13 are going here. So there's 13, which does go to the flip-flop. 12, 11, 10, 9. Which also goes to the flip-flop. The correct pins on the flip-flop even. Okay, so 9 and 13 of U6 does match the schematic and here.
Yeah, it just calls them C and D instead of A and B.
Yeah. I mean, even the pin numbers line up for these two, actually.
Yeah.
So we've got 9 and 13 that we can check, and we should see oscillations on both of those. That tells us that our 60 hertz clock is coming through, the flip-flop is clearing and setting correctly like it's supposed to.
Yeah, and then if we look at the two of them, they should be 180 degrees out of phase with respect to each other.
Yeah. Yep. And then 10 and 12 should be tied together, and they should be pulled up to 5 volts if we want to have those oscillations going out, right?
Yeah, because those are coming off that op amp,
Yeah.
the AR1.
Comparator, actually.
Oh, okay.
Well, I would love to find a ground on this thing that doesn't suck. But I've got so many weird isolated grounds going on.
For sure. Shoot one.
Yeah, Stick 3132. If the PSU gives us good 5 volts, I'm sending it with all the cards in the TI-980, man. I want to see blinking lights blinking.
Well, one way or the other, we'll get a light show.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let me get the scope out.
Let's just hope it's the right kind of light show.
There is no wrong kind of light show when you're filming everything.
We already got a light show out of the power supply a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
was a-
Spectacular but short.
That was a dope light show. I can't believe that the camera at only 30 frames per second caught it as well as it did. Oh, I gotta go get a power cable for this thing. All right.
Wait, what light show?
That was the 980 power supply when we powered it up, and there was a lot of corrosion between one of the diodes and ground, apparently. Or no, I think it was just yeah. It was a light show that fixed itself.
Yep.
All right. Scope gets plugged in. Let's turn you on. So if we slide this guy in here. Problem is ground. There's not a great place that I can hook my ground probe. Right, because I want to check from this ground pin right here, which is pin 7. Yeah, that's like 30 ohms. That's also like 30 ohms. There we go. That's my ground. I almost want to like solder a pin to that, but then I wouldn't be able to pull the board out. All right, I'm just gonna have to. I wish one of these screw heads was connected to that, because I can clip onto screw heads pretty easily. I swear I checked all these though, and we had no joy. Yeah. No me gusta. All right, well, we'll just do it the hard way like we were doing it last time by just being careful and cautious. All right. All right. Ooh. Sounds like it didn't want to start up this time. I can hear it clicking. Tick, 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 tick. Yeah, Roy, I was thinking about soldering a ground wire on there, but then I've got this like support brace right across the top here. So if I solder anything to this, it won't fit underneath the support brace. Yeah, it sounds like it's not starting up. What changed? Yeah, it's definitely not starting up. Either that or it's trying to start up and there isn't enough load for it to start up. But it wasn't doing this last time.
Did we unplug something and forget to plug it back in?
I don't think so. But I have pulled the boards in and out about 3 times since the last time we powered it up. And pop the boards out and see if we knocked anything loose. Moving this thing around. This is a terrible power supply. Yeah, I don't think we broke a connector or anything. I don't think we popped a fuse. I mean, I can check the 2 fuses on here and see what we got. So this fuse, that fuse is still good.
What about switches? Did a switch get moved?
I don't know what, I mean, the battery switch, the only other switch that I have on the back here is the battery switch, and it's still off. I mean, I'm wondering if like maybe we got some corrosion on the edge connectors there, but like I said, I've had these things plugged in and out a couple of times. I mean, there's just enough slack that this upper one is resting on the lower one, but they've got a piece of fiberglass to, you know, for that case. So it's just a piece of fiberglass resting on the lower thing.
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. I bet you if I check our oscillator, which is going to be
Well, maybe if we try it again, maybe it'll just come up. Maybe just reseating everything made it happy. Who knows?
Yeah, you can see the oscillator there is very slow. It probably doesn't. I mean, I can hear it clicking, so that makes sense. The oscillator is also only at about 2 volts, which doesn't seem right. Well, no, I went too slow.
Wonder if is the 5-volt reference that we were checking before still 5 volts?
And the aux too.
I don't remember which pins those are. Yeah, there we go. That's at like, well, it says 30 kilohertz. So it says our oscillator's at 30 kilohertz, which is half speed. It should be 60 kilohertz, I feel like. Oh, no, because it's going through a flip-flop. So that oscillator is working fine. I mean, it's mighty low voltage, but that doesn't seem So the oscillator going into those things is oscillating. If I check the voltages of the rails that I have marked over here, I forgot what they are, but one of these should be like 30. Ooh, that's like 13. That might be a 12. That's 3. I feel like one of those is supposed to be 20. So I feel like our 30 volt rail. Well, no, I got 35 volts over there. I don't remember what.
There's a 35 ground, a plus 5 cents, an SCR drive, which doesn't have a marked voltage, reference ramped bias, and then the 60 kilohertz clock. Those are the 5 inputs here.
Oh, to that little no, I'm trying to think of like what do I have on the edge connector that I can check? Because we were checking for reference voltage on the edge connector.
Okay, these had letters, so I thought they were going to the edge connector. Never mind then.
No, I think those letters are where they're coming from on sheet 1.
Yeah, okay. I found the edge connector. It's on the other side of the drawing. Then plus 5 cents should be 3 and 4 on the edge connector. It's a 40-pin edge connector, right?
Sure. I guess.
Well, I hope that's the one that's marked as going to A1 filter rectifier output card.
Yeah, so it is a 40-pin edge connector, but I think that's edge connector is the other one. No, that's got to be this one.
There's more than one?
Well, there's 2 cards in the thing, right? So there's going to be 2 edge connectors.
Yeah, there's 2 cards in the, but we're looking at the top card, right?
Yeah, I think so. We got to be.
Yeah, so the top card has only 1 edge connector on it. I'm not talking about on the back line.
Something's not right here though, because that edge connector shows it as like being, you've got a 5 volt sense, a ground, and then everything is 5 volt and main out, is what that edge connector shows, right? And I've got way more than that going on here. Not way more, but I do have more than that.
Oh, yeah, all right. I see what they did. Okay. I mean, it does go every freaking place in the circuit, but... Huh, all right. I don't know what this is then. Oh, there's a bunch of... Hold on, there's a bunch of pins on the other side that have numbers like 79, 80, 75, 76. But they have pin reference numbers. I wonder if that's the right thing.
A2.
Oh yeah, I think it's a lot more than 50.
Yeah, see on the top left where it's got like 79, 80, 75, 76. That's your 35.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's right. So I think up to 40 is going to be alternating power and ground. Right. So if I count up from here, let's say that I'm on, I don't know if this is the odd or evens, but if I'm on the evens, it's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 24, 26, 28, 30, 2, 4, 6, 8, 40. And then I get into some interesting stuff after 40, which is correct. So 42 or 41 is going to be something.
Yeah, so far the high, I'm just skimming through looking at the connector numbers. The highest I've seen so far is 80, so it might be an 80-pin connector.
Yeah, and when I checked this far right side, That's 79, 80, 76, 75, 68, 67, 72, 71. That was plus 35.
Yeah, and that's what it says it's supposed to be. And then you're supposed to have ground on the next 77, 78, 73, 74. The basically the opposite.
The alternating ones, yeah.
Yeah.
The one where I've been checking my ground, because it's the same ground that's shared by all the ICs, is right in the middle, and it's 4 pins for some kind of, yeah, 49, 50, 51, and 52 is kind of where I've been checking ground, which is what's labeled as LC, which I think is the logic comment.
Okay. The next interesting pin number looks like 63. That's the driver for the SCR attached to the 5-volt sense line.
Yeah, but I think so. I think we've lost our 5-volt aux here as well. So 43, 44 there.
Okay.
And there's one in between that. So we've got 50, 52. So then there's going to be 48 and 47, whatever those are. What are those guys? 48 and 47 is a 5-volt reference.
Yep, I found it.
Then 46 and 45 I could check as well.
Hang on, I'm looking for it.
Let me write this down. And get a piece of paper. All right, my logic comment is 49, 50.
Yeah, 49, 50, 51, and 52.
52 is LC. Then 48 and 47 was 5-volt reference.
Yeah, 43 and 44 are 5-volt auxiliary, but I haven't seen 45 and 46 yet.
Six, 43, 44.
I found 47 and 48. That's also 47, 48 is 5-volt reference. We already got that. 57 and 58 are plus 33.
43, 44. So right, we've got your 5-volt ref. We don't know what 45 and 46 are. But you should be 5-volt.
Another thing that might be interesting to look at is on 59 and 60, it's marked IM reset.
And it's 60. Yeah, that was kind of the path that we were running down last week, I think, before we've developed this new problem now. That one fucks off and goes someplace else. Right, because we've got 49, 50, 47, 48 is our 5-volt aux. 45 and 46 goes to pins 8 and 5 of one of my ICs with multiple legs. What is that going to be? One of my round ICs.
One of the comparators.
Maybe.
Oh, hold on. I found the diagram of the backplane. It's got some of the signal names. I was looking for, what were we looking for?
45 and 46.
Okay, 45 and 46. Says plus 21.5 auxiliary. I think that's
Yeah, that sounds
real faded.
that sounds right. That sounds like something that I remember seeing.
Yeah, okay. Then what other holes are we missing?
Well, right now that was the big one. Because
Okay.
we checked all those last week, or not last week, 2 weeks ago, and they were fine. And now I don't think they're fine.
Yeah, and then we've got 54 and 55. That's all reg up, and it looks like it might. Looks like it might have a minus after it, so that might be active low. It's hard
Yeah.
to tell.
Yeah, that would be an active low.
Okay, then 56 and 57 are AC on. 58 and 59 are plus 33. We already did M reset. 62 and 63 are negative 9 volts, I think.
So I'm afraid we lost our 21.5 volt rail. Let me double check that right quick. Although I don't know if that 21.5, I'm guessing that's going to need to be against logic common because it's used for logic voltage. So that's coming into, yeah, AR2. So plus 21 has, so AR2 has plus 21 coming into it, which is probably going to be onto the logic common. Yeah, it does. It references. So as long as I can get on that logic common there. Oof. It sounds wonky. All right, so our 5 volt reference is at 4.94 volts. Our 21.5 is at 12.8.
Oof.
Yeah, and then our
That's
plus 5 volt aux is at 2.9.
I think that 21 volts is on the motherboard
Yeah,
backplane.
so now we got to figure out where that 21 volts is coming from.
Right, I'm looking for it.
Let's chase that down.
Oh, wait a minute. No,
It's not
gonna
coming
be
from
on
the-
bottom board.
Oh, it's coming from the bottom board?
Yeah, there's no regulation on the backplane. It's got to be the bottom board.
Also, it doesn't go anywhere except the 2 card slots.
Yeah.
What I'm looking for is there a hint to what the voltage of the SCR drive is supposed to be? But that disappears off into the back plane. It comes from a diode and some other crud. So
Well, the main SCR is on the backplane.
Okay, so
But that's
both the 21 volt aux and the 5 volt, or both the 21 volt and the 5 volt aux, which were both bad, are coming from the bottom board from the same section. They get the same plus 35N, and they've got a handful of transistors and looks like 2 Zener diodes in the mix of there. That's our big 2N3055s. So we lost something on that guy. Now the question is, can I power the thing up with the top board removed?
Good question.
I don't think the bottom board is reliant on anything from the top board to do stuff.
It would make sense to be able to troubleshoot it that way.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the bottom board's one that we replaced a bunch of capacitors on. So we're looking for, what are those? 2N29. That's a 3055. So I got my 3055s up here.
I'm gonna be away for a second.
Yep. Those are magnetic. That's fun. This is the one that we replaced a huge number of transistors or capacitors on. And I swear it was oscillating last week just fine. And I'm pretty sure we've got good plus 35 coming in. We've got all sorts of rust issues, so that's not hugely surprising. Are those sockets? They look like they might be sockets. Let me see if one of these is socketed. Yeah, that definitely is socketed because I can wiggle it up.
except for 5-volt sense, I don't see anything coming from the top board.
Yeah, so I think we're probably totally fine to power up the bottom board without the top board plugged in. The question is, once we do, what are we trying to check? And the bottom board schematic is on page 128 of the PDF.
Yeah, 128 and 129.
Yep. Now I can get the big pass transistors. I've got 4 2N3055s here. One of those is for the problem that we currently have. I don't know what the other 3 are for. One of them is for a -5. And those are 2N2905s.
+5 standby Q11
Okay.
is a 3055.
Yeah, so we need to figure out where we're losing our +21 at. Which says that Q3, I mean, there's nothing between +21 and Q3, which is one of the 2N3055s. Now, I don't know if that's the same Q number that I've got on here. If I don't even have any Q numbers on here, so I don't know which one Q3 is.
Let's hope this board is the same. Or did we already discuss that last time?
I'm pretty sure it's not, but I don't think we ever checked this board because we never traced any problems back to it yet.
Oh, yeah.
The plus, Man, am I looking at this wrong? I swear this is just like a straight linear regulator for plus 21.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right? That's got to be what I'm looking at. So if the 30 and the 3055 is a, is that a PNP or an NPN? I think that's a PNP, right? Arrow points in.
3055 is in.
That's an
35
NPN.
points
That's
in
an
Proudly.
3055 is an NPN.
Yeah, if the arrow points out, that's an NPN. If the arrow points in, that's a PNP.
Yeah, the
Yes,
abbreviation that I was taught is points in proudly or not pointing in.
Okay. All right. So if we can figure out which 2 in 3055 is Q3, I can probe the base of that and see what it's sitting at. But the layout that they show above is very different than the layout that I've got on my actual machine here.
Ouch.
I don't think they're the same. Yeah, that's very different looking. That's not great. Okay, let's, what pin does that go out on? That goes out on 4546. So I can check that against the 2 in 3055s here. Or I can just maybe even follow it back. All right.
Yeah, 45, 46.
Yeah, which is right here, and I can see it come down to a bunch of stuff, which makes sense. A lot of things hit 45, 46. But up here, one of these big 2 in 3055s is going to have a 0 ohm connection to it on one of the pins.
Yeah.
And that'll tell us which 3055 is our 3055 that we care about. And then we just check the base of that to see if it's kicking on. And if the base says, yeah, that should be on, then we know that the 3055 itself is potentially the problem. If the base says, no, this should be off, then we look at what turns the base on, right?
Yeah.
Except I'm not finding
it. 22, so AST 2222s and 2905.
And then we just go around repeating the process until we have all your base.
And they belong to us. Except that I'm not finding a connection to any of the 3055s up here.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, this might be our revision difference biting us in the butt.
Can you do the trick where you put a flashlight on the other side of the board to look through it?
Yeah, I might try that. It looks like it's got big ground planes, though, on the other side. That makes it a little harder.
Yeah, it needs.
Yeah, that doesn't show like anything is coming through. All right, so there and there. So those three, nothing on that one. Nothing on that one, Well, yeah, no wonder it's not connecting. It doesn't, it just goes to like 3 components down here and stops.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so that's interesting. What pin is R21 coming through on the other one? Right, that was 50, 47, 48, 45, and 46. That's 47, 45, and 46 is where it should be coming in on the other one. Oh, I'm a big old dum-dum. I'm checking 50, 54, not 45. Okay.
Well, at least it's got the same digits.
Yeah. I had a slight moment of dyslexia there. All right, let's try again.
It happens to the beast of us.
Mm,
I'm still not sure I'm on the right pin even. Oh, Yahtzee. There we are, 0.7 ohms.
that's good enough.
0.1. That's going to be our guy. So that would be NPN out. This is plus 21 right here. Now, for that, that is, I don't know what package, what do you call that package? These like big metal can
TO3.
packages? Okay,
Or
so
no.
for,
TO3, yeah.
yeah, so for these, you've got 2 pins and then you've got the case.
Right.
What-
Case is always collector.
Collector would be the, yeah, okay. Emitter is going to be on the way out, collector's on the way in for an NPN, right?
Yeah.
So this one is emitter, this one is collector, and this one is base. And then let me see if I can find a ground, the logic ground, or, I mean, I suppose even the like ground that they list on here, 5, 6, 9, 10, that should work
Yeah,
as a ground.
that's what I was looking at. I was looking at that too, yeah.
Yeah, so 5, 6, or 9, and 10 will be the ground that we can check off of. That must go to a ground plane. I don't see any connection on those pins. Yeah, there is no connection on 5, 6, 9, and 10.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Like I can see that there's like literally 0 traces that go to those. So that is not an acceptable ground.
Can you find what is on the schematic as CR1 anode? Or
I got a lot of diodes
CR3
on here.
anode? Yeah. CR1, CR3 anode, they're both common.
But what is I mean, the massive ground plane on this board is on 50, 51, 52, 53. So
Oh.
what is schematic list that as? Oh yeah, 50, 51, 52, 49, 50. Yeah, maybe I'm counting wrong. 49, 50, 51, and 52 is ground. 1 and 2 is the same ground. So that ground I can check. but
1 and 2 are sense ground.
no, not on this one. It just says 1, 2, 49, 50, 51, 52, 79, and 80 are all ground. And if I follow that around, it does connect up to the 5, 6, 9, 10 that is, not connected.
Okay.
But it also connects up to CR1 that we were looking for earlier. So I just need to go to the big ground plane,
Okay.
which is these guys right here. So I can get to those. All right. So I can check that. Question is, will it power up? Will it do nice things with one board missing? Well, it's not clicking anymore. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's because that's on the other board.
Yeah. All right. So if I go from you right there to emitter, which is here, I've got 19.36 volts. Presumably that's floating up. If I check the collector, that's at 22.7. I feel like that should be a full 35, shouldn't it?
Yes,
Oh, no.
it should.
No, it's 35 after a 2 ohm resistor.
Oh, true.
So that's at
There's
collectors.
not load on.
Yeah, well, yeah, there shouldn't be a whole lot of load on it. Let's see, collector's at 22.6. Base is at 22.26. I can plug the other board in. I think I can actually probe these two with that other board in. Maybe. I can probe the collector with that other board in it, at the very least. Actually, I think I can get those. I can get everything except for the emitter.
Which would be the important one, really. Solder a wire on it and clip onto that.
Well, I might be able to get all three. Hang on. As long as I get onto the same ground.
Same trace.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to use the logic comment up here as my ground. I don't know if that's acceptable or not, but we'll find out. All right, this is the collector. The collector is at 35.8 volts.
Well, that's better than it was.
Yeah, the base is at 23.9 volts.
Well, that's the way it's supposed to be.
And let's see here, the emitter. The emitter is at 13 volts.
Oof.
Right? Let me just double check that. Collector's at 35 volts, 35.7. Base is at 24.7. And emitter is at 13. That sounds like I've got a bad... Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Endor Fox, thank you for all the subs, man. That is awesome. Heck yeah, man. Thank you so much. All right, yeah, I think maybe we've come to a decision that that is an unacceptable 3055.
Sounds like it.
I mean, if the base is at 26 or so volts and our collector's at 13, that sounds like it's not passing a whole lot.
Yep.
Fortunately, I think this is socketed, and I'm pretty sure I've got a replacement over there. Although my thermal paste, I think, is back inside.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, that's how it always seems to be. I need to just leave that out here. And I thought I did, but I don't think, well, I should have, but I don't think I did.
I have one out here and one in the house.
Yeah, I took it back inside because I was like, oh, the next time I'm going to use this is whenever I'm building another PC, and then should have thought differently. Oh, come on. Let me get underneath there. It's socketed. I just can't get purchase on it to lift it up.
TI made a transistor that was in a TO-122 or no, bigger package than that, but basically the same shape. You could get it hot enough to solder with and not destroy the transistor. And I'm kind of thinking that the 3055 was kind of like that too.
I do indeed have a 3055. I don't have any thermal paste. I think the right, let me double check. I think the right move is for me to run inside and get thermal paste. Unless I was smart and left it out here. Really don't think I was being smart though.
Well, you did use it here recently.
Yeah, and I have a vague memory of setting it outside and being like, I need to carry this inside.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not in that box. Certainly not in that box. All right. The right thing to do is to go get it, so let's do the right thing. I will be right back, because otherwise my headphones will disconnect and then we'll have all sorts of audio problems. All right, I'll be right back.
Find it.
All right. I have thermal paste now. Did you guys decide whether I should buy that poor decision of mine or not?
It's been silent since you left.
What? You guys didn't talk to each other? Y'all gotta talk to each other.
That internet theory.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So we found what we're pretty sure is a bad 2035 or 3055. You're just saying random numbers with no bearing on reality.
What did your meter say on that transistor?
I don't know. I gotta go to diode mode here, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what orders they're supposed to go in.
But, oh, well, just try it both ways is the easiest. And it should be 0.7 of a volt or thereabouts.
Yeah, I checked all permutations of connections, and I only have a voltage drop in one direction. The rest of them are all open.
Then you get an open transistor.
Yeah. So, like, from leg to leg, I've got... Oh, wait, hang on. I've got a 0.5 volt drop from leg to leg, but nothing in the opposite direction.
That's correct.
And then from body to one leg, doesn't matter which way I put the probes on it, that one is always open. From body to the other leg, I do get a 0.5 volt drop.
Yeah, that's showing good.
Well, we'll find out.
Body to the leg with the voltage on it is the emitter. And case is always collector.
But I mean, it was moving some voltage through it. So, like, because we were getting 13 volts, right?
Yeah.
Like if it was fully dead, I would expect us not to get anything out the backside.
If it was fully open, that would be the case. Yeah. It could be it's breaking down under power.
Pretty sure my thermal paste is not really any good anymore. So it's probably good that I'm using it. Yeah, say it's probably good that I'm using it on this and not on like my new Ryzen.
Yeah.
I mean, it is probably a decade old, maybe more. That is now the nicest part on this entire thing. By like a large margin. Yeah, Roy, if this doesn't make any difference, then, you know, we got other issues to try and hunt down. Let's get this guy in.
Which kind of paste is it?
Arctic Silver.
Okay, no, I have a tube of the ancient white stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't have any of that white stuff anymore.
I think this lasts forever. I've always wondered though, they're both made with zinc oxide, and how close is it to the stuff that lifeguards wear on their nose?
All right. Is it gonna make the same clicking noise? No. Our click, 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 click went away. So let's check our voltages up top here. We've got our +5 reference is at 4.989. That's fine. Our 21 volts is at 21.6. And
the transistor.
Yep, our +5 aux is at 5.01. So that transistor died.
Yep.
Another one bites the dust. Okay.
There is another possibility. The fact that you loosened the screws, you might have made a better connection by just loosening and retightening those screws on that transistor.
Yeah, I'm not taking it apart to find out.
No need.
Yeah. All right. Now we're back up to where we wanted to be, like an hour ago, which is going to be page 109, I think. Yeah, 109 here. So if I check 9 and 13, we should have an oscillation on those.
Yeah.
So there's 13. Yep, we've got a nice 0 to 4 volt oscillation at 30 hertz. There's 9, also a nice 0 to 4 volt oscillation at 30 hertz. Okay, so we have an oscillation coming into those AND gates on 9 and 13. 10 and 12 should be tied together. And we want to see 10 and 12 be high.
To turn it on, yeah.
So that's 10. And that's 12. And they're both at 0 volts.
That might be actually correct because the AND gate is driving an NPN, which is pulling the
No, that has to go high. Because those NPNs, Q20 and Q15 that it shows in there, those are the primary driver transistors for the main voltage out. Right?
Check 11 and 8. That should give you the drive. That's right. That's supposed to be the drive for it.
Yeah, and those have to be low.
So,
because let's see here, there's 8. Yeah,
11 and 8
is low.
Should be oscillating. Oh.
Yeah, and 11 is low. And that makes sense.
So, yeah.
They're low because 10 and 12 are low.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's going to be high.
Yeah. So if 10 and 12 are low, flip that off. So if 10 and 12 are low, that means that AR1 is not turning 10 and 12 on.
Either that
Correct.
or R71, which is supposed to pull that output up to +5 aux, is gone.
That's possible too.
Does that look like a pull up, or am I doing that wrong?
No, that's a pull
That's
up.
right.
That's correct.
I mean, I can find it, like I can measure R71 pretty quickly.
Yeah,
If I can
470
find
ohms. Highly unlikely that a resistor will go like that with so little power going through it.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it either, but it can't hurt to check it. We just got to find it, and we would want to find it anyway because we want to make sure that there's 5 volts on the other side of it, and not some weird break in the board or some crap like that.
True.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So I can check R71 here. Yeah,
Two.
R71 measures out at 495 ohms, which is within
Okay.
spec for the type of resistor that it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the next question would be, if you power up again, do you see plus
5
5
volts,
aux on the
yeah.
side?
Yep.
Because
I'll check
if if that CR13 fails short, that might be pulling it down through R53.
LM311.
Oh, we definitely have 5 volt aux. Well, I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
whether
we measured 5 volt aux somewhere else. We just want to
Yeah.
make sure that it's getting here.
5 volt aux is definitely getting to the 470 ohm because that's what powers the chip. The 5 volt aux goes into pin 14 as the VCC for the chip.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, and the 470 ohm is not blasted,
Yeah.
so I think that's fine. Which means that we're back over to AR1, which is this little metal can right here, which is the comparator.
1. Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I'm pretty
AR.
sure.
That's right.
Yeah, and on AR1, 7 is the output, which I can
2.
confirm. And then
AR1.
6, like this said, oh yeah, 6 is pulled up. So 6, 5, and 8 are all pulled up to 21.5 volts. 4 should be logic common.
That's
But it's-
VCC minus.
Then
On the chip.
3. Yeah,
3 is negative input.
3 and 2 are our 2 inputs, and then 1 is also logic common. So I can now check.
Yeah, one is the emitter of the output transistor.
Okay. Yeah. So if I plug this in and I check the voltages on 2, 3, and 7, that'll tell us a whole lot about whether this thing is supposed to be turning on or not, right?
Yeah.
Because what we're expecting is that pin 2 has to be higher than pin 3 in
Yeah,
order for pin
correct.
7 to turn on.
All right, so we do have our 21.5 volts hitting all 3 of the pins that it's supposed to hit. That's correct. If I check pin 7 as our output, that's at 0.25 volts, which is never going to turn. That's pulling it's pulling it low. So our pull-up resistor can't pull that up.
Right.
Yeah, pin 1 is totally fine. Let's check pin 2. Pin 2 is at negative 0.247 volts.
Ouch.
Pin 3 is at 6.05 volts. No, it's coming down. 5.9897. Why is that falling so fast? 5.8 volts. At any
You're on
rate,
the other side. You're on the other side of a 2.2K resistor. That's why.
yeah, my multimeter is loading it down.
Is there any ripple at all on pin 2?
6.
You should see a 60 kilohertz artifact.
1, there's pin 2.
B.
I mean, pin 2's the one that was at negative 2 volts, right?
Right. Yeah. Is it a solid?
It looks solid. I mean, there's a little bit of noise on it, but it's like maybe like 100 millivolts of noise. It's pretty low.
Yeah, I'm not expecting a lot because it's going through 2 capacitors to try to smooth it out and a 5.1K resistor to knock the level down. But it's connected to the 60 kilohertz clock. So I was expecting to see some clock artifact there. What's going on is your reference ramped is probably in the shitter. That would be the next thing to check.
Yeah. That's coming off of the emitter of Q6, the 2N2222.
All right, hang on. Let me wrap my head around this. Pin 2 being lower than pin 3 says that it's going to try and pull the output as low as possible, which is why it's singing current. So we need to get pin 2 above 5 volts. Or 5 volts.
Or just above it has to be above that plus 5 cents. And they knock the plus 5 cents down a little bit with a resistor in order to give exactly 5 volts a chance to pass.
Okay, so our next quest is the what you were thinking, the ref ramped.
Right, because ref ramped comes into this through a 2.2K resistor, and there's an RC circuit that couples it to the 60 kilohertz clock, presumably for smoothing. So that's why I was curious, is any of the clock getting through? But if you're seeing a little wobble in it, that's probably a bit of the clock getting through. The next thing I would check is reference ramped.
Yeah, unless no, that's gonna be all right, I guess. Oh, I don't know that, because so if you go and look at the plus 5 ramped on the previous page, you've got this 2N2907 that's coming from plus 5 cents and has a 10 ohm, and then the other side of that has a 390 ohm to logic common. I mean, if that 2907 kicks on, that's only 400 ohms versus the 2K ohms that the 2K ohms that the 5 volt ref is going through to get to our thing, right?
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do here is get a soft start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. But if our 2907 is locked on, like, you know, maybe the 2907 is shorted.
You mean the one at Q8?
Yeah.
Yeah, if that one shorts,
It's going to the
it would short collector to emitter, right?
No, collector. Very, very rare to go collector to emitter. It's usually emitter base or collector base.
Okay, so one or the other would wind up at 5 volt cents.
Okay.
And if I assume if 5 volt cents went straight into the input of U3D, it would have no effect because it's a 5 volt part.
So that's going to be a 2907. And where are you going to be at?
The other thing going into it here is that 2N222.
Yeah.
2222 is what's doing the driving. Q7 is driving another transistor.
Yeah, because there's no dot.
Right. No dot?
Yeah, there's no dot connecting Q7 to plus 5 reference ramped.
Correct. Q8 collector is going to the input of U30. So it's supposed to be just passing with the 5 volt sense on it.
Yeah, but check out, it does go to U3, but there is a 390 ohm pull down to logic common.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too bad.
But what I'm saying is that if the 2N2907 kicks on for whatever reason, if Q8 turns on for whatever reason, that's only 400 ohms between plus 5 ref ramped and ground, which is going to way overpower the 2.2K ohm resistor that's on the input to our AR1.
Well, your driving force is actually Q6, the 2222. That's where the reference is coming from.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. So even if that is churning power, as long as Q6 can supply enough, it should
Yeah.
still be +5 out of that. You're right. Okay. What's up, Dizziac? I have no idea when you posted that, but I'm seeing first time chat now. How's it going, man? All right, so if we can find Q6 is supposed to have 100 microfarad. You know, I didn't replace the caps on this guy. So if C6 has gone short, that would
You're
prevent
right.
that would prevent
That would pull it
Q6
down.
from turning on.
Yep. Yep.
And I can see a C6 on here. Let me measure across that. Well, it hasn't gone short. I'm showing 6.4 mega ohms across that. But I'm not sure if that's the same C6 that we're concerned about here.
Yeah, there should be either an 820 ohm resistor on the other end of it, or a let's see. Oh, I can't read that. What's R11? What's that say? 91?
Let's see. Let me try my other schematic.
Weird number.
Different manual.
Yeah, I think we've got some revision problems going on here, because I don't think C6 on here is the C6 on there. Because I'm looking at what C6 is plugged into, and it goes to a white, brown, black resistor, whatever that comes out to.
White, brown, black. Black,
Yeah.
Black, brown, white. White, brown, black.
Yeah. And then
I
it
haven't
goes
seen anything.
to, got a via there, but I don't see, that via doesn't appear to go anywhere.
Yeah, there should be 2 resistors and a diode, looks like.
There is R16, which is a gray, red, brown. That's probably our 820, and then there is indeed a diode, which is CR3, it says, which is correct.
Yeah, that matches as well.
Yeah.
That would be correct. Yeah.
Is the other end of that diode going to a 2907?
Yes.
Okay, yep, we're looking at the right place then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Oh yeah, and then R16 is what connects up to the 2N222, which is Q9.
Yeah, okay, so that's Q9 on yours.
Yeah. Yeah, Q6 is in a totally different place, I think. Or maybe, maybe not. Hang on, let me double check.
There is a Q9 that is a 2N222.
Yeah, it's going to Q6. I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, it is going to Q6.
Okay.
All right. I mean, I can check the diode. Just because it's right here. Yeah, the diode checks out fine. The Sprague cap is C6 at 100 microfarads.
Okay.
If it's a Coke bottle, I really doubt anything's wrong with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not thinking anything's wrong with it. I mean, if I measure across it, it's like 6 mega ohms.
Yeah.
4.9 mega ohms.
Does it look like it's charging?
Nah, it's just kind of sitting at 5 mega ohms. Like maybe it's already charged.
Reverse the leads and try it.
If I check the voltage across it, it's at 0.3 volts. If I reverse the leads, it's kind of all over the place.
should be increasing in voltage. You're in straight resistance, right? Not in diode.
No, yeah, straight resistance. It's at like 1 mega ohms and going down, which seems backwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't replace any of the 100 microfarad 10 volt caps on here because they didn't actually look that bad. I highly doubt the 2N2222 went. Those never die. It's possible, though.
They seem to live forever.
I suppose we can check. We can check the voltage on base, emitter, and collector on the 2N222.
Yeah.
On Q6 there. Now I have no idea which pin is what.
The one with the tab is the emitter.
Come on, Sharpie. You're better than this. The one with the tab is the emitter. Okay.
Yep.
So you're going to be emitter.
And it'll be EBC.
Yeah, and then I can figure out everything else from there. All right, so let's check the voltage on this guy, see what it says. That'll give us a little bit of information about what's going on with our ref ramp circuit, at least. All right, so emitter. Oh, yeah, it helps if I put it into voltage mode.
Oops.
Yeah. All right, so emitter is at negative 0.2 volts, which makes sense. That's what we were seeing at the other end, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Collector is at 4.989 volts.
That's correct.
Base is at 0.007 volts.
Uh-oh.
So our base never comes up. So that could be a couple of things. That could be Q5 pulling it to logic common.
Q5.
Right? If Q5 turns on,
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
that's the only
Yeah.
thing that can actually turn it off. If Q5 turns on, that's going to pull the base to 0 volts.
Correct.
And that's fun. Q5 is controlled by U1D, which has a signal on it called overload.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's find Q5 and check it next. Let's just follow this backwards. I really need a different screwdriver if I'm going to do this. I'm tearing up my nice 1000 volt Wera driver. All right, Q5 must be someplace else.
Just don't use that that screwdriver on your 100,000 volts.
Yeah, yeah, that would ruin a day. Okay, so Q6 base comes out. Q6 base comes out, goes through R16. Then we want to find R17, which I'm betting is that real weird looking one that I saw. Yeah, there's R17. So on the other side of R17, we're going to go to another resistor, which is R18, which is correct. And then all the way over to here, which is Q5. I have found it. This is Q5. And then you said the emitter is with the tab?
Yes.
All right, so then you are emitter. All right, let's check Q5, see what it's doing. All right, Q5 emitter is at 0.000 volts. Collector is at 0.00 volts because the collector is ground. The base is at 0.692 volts.
That's why. Okay, you need to go to U10, see where it's
Or U1,
getting
you
that
mean?
reference. U1. You're right.
Yeah.
U1D.
Yeah, so U1D is getting it. Let me get a different screwdriver.
It's a sloppy D. That's what messed me up.
Yeah, it looks like U10, but it's U1, the D gate.
Yeah.
What is a good screwdriver to pry with? So I don't keep mucking up my nice one. There we go. All right, time to locate U1, which is one of our ICs. But let me follow that from Q5. So Q5, it's going to go over to here, which looks like a via. Yeah, which goes to R12. Is that the right number? Or R22, huh? They've changed my numbers up on me. And that also says 2.7K, so that doesn't seem right. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Or 14 maybe? No.
Can't be 14.
No. Yeah. I can't follow that trace. It hits a via that's underneath a bunch of components.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, so U1 is a open collector NAND. That's going to be a 7403.
Or 09.
I think the 09 is the AND.
Oh, no, you're right. 03 is the open collector NAND.
Yeah, that's our open collector NAND.
I used to know everything in the TTL line.
All right, so our 03 is down here. So that's our 03. So I should have 2.7K ohm of resistance off of 03, and that's not a great way to test. Because it says that it's pin 11, but I'm skeptical if it's actually pin 11 here.
We should have somebody marking up the PDF so that we have reference to the A model 980.
Yeah, because on this one, pin 11 and 12 are tied together.
Oh, that can't be right.
No, you're right. That can't be
11
right.
and 12.
I'm counting. I must be counting wrong. Oh, I'm on the wrong chip.
Ah.
I gotta be on this chip. No, I was on the right chip. 7403. Pin 1 is there, so pin 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are tied together. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10 and 11 are tied together. And then 12 and 13 are separate. So something's not right because it shows 10 and 11 being tied together.
Yeah, that can't be right.
It does show 12 and 13 as separate, but they're coming from other ICs.
13 should come from U5A 7474 U6 pin 6.
Yeah, and 12 also comes from another IC, so that's possible.
U4A pin 3 and pin 4.
Oh, it's midnight. Printer's reconnected.
Ah,
Yeah, so let's see here. So 12 and 13. Let's see here. 12 on this board is coming from a 7400.
that's correct.
13 on this board comes from a 7474.
Okay, pin 6.
And then the output, which is 10 or 11,
11.
13, 12, 11. 11 just goes to pin
To go to
10.
two resistors.
No, on this board it goes to pin 10. And I can't see what pin 9 goes to. There we go. 14, 13, 12. Oh, 11 also goes to R14,
I've got R15.
which is not
One
quite
K?
right.
1K?
No, it's a yellow, purple, red. 4.7K? That seem right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me count this right. So 14, 13, 12, 11. Yeah, so 11 goes to pin 10 as well as to a 4.7K.
Oh.
I mean, that could still be it because that 4.7K was the one that I traced all the way out to, I swear that 4.7K is the one that I followed all the way back to the 2N222.
That's supposed to be a 2.7K, but
No, that's not right. That 4.7K is tied to a power rail.
oh,
No, so it's got a 4.7K, looks like a pull-up on it.
well, the pull-up that I'm seeing on the schematic is
It's
a 1K
270.
and a 270. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it needs a pull-up
with the
for sure.
booster. Yeah.
And then pin 11 comes out and goes into pin 10 as well. So it's a pull-up with an input into pin 10. And then that shows, so yeah, the overload section here is a little different, it appears.
Did we discuss AR2 as not being there? And that would explain U1 pin 10.
Yeah, I think so, because I think AR2 is not present. That's right. All right. Well, okay. Let's let me double check this because I think, I mean, it's going to pin 10 as well, but also it may be a connection. Let me see if I can trace back, because the 2N222 is being turned off, right? Q5 is being turned off.
Correct.
So we got to figure out why Q5 is being turned off. So if I can trace that out.
You found that 2.7K resistor on the base, right?
No,
Oh, okay.
not yet at least. So what are you? You look like R14 to me. So you look like you just go straight to the dang IC. You do not. Okay, that's our 4.7K pull-up. Is, I guess, a 4.7K pull-up? That's the lower one. Goes to R15, I think, because that's 1, 2, 3 there. Yeah. All right, so we have a 4.7K pull-up that's R15 that Q5 is directly connected to.
Oh,
That's interesting.
try ohming from the base of Q5 to U1D and
Yeah,
11.
there we go. We've got a direct connection to, what pin is that? The LS03, that's going to be pin 8.
And 8?
Yeah, pin 8 is 0.1 ohm, 0.0 ohms. Pin 8 of the LS03 is 0.0 ohms to the base of Q5.
Oh, wow. That's definitely turning it on.
That's brave. Okay, so pin 8 of the LS03 is going to have pins 9 and 10 as the inputs.
Yes. Wow. I should be doing this on KiCad.
Yeah, things get real weird here.
Yeah. Where's my KiCad? There it is.
All right, and interestingly, 10 is coming from the one that we checked.
Pin 11.
Yeah, so yeah, pin 11. So U1D. So we've got our open collector NAND as 11, and then that's going to be 12 and 13. And we saw those going to the 7474 and the whatever the other one was.
U4 pins 3 and 4.
Yeah, we saw that going to U5 and U4. Now pin 11 comes out and goes into pin 10. Pin 10 of the same IC. I don't know where pin 9 goes off to. But then pin 8 goes straight into the 2222,
Q5.
which is Q5, with a 4.7K pull-up.
Right.
So right now we're in a situation where pin 8 is pulling the base down. Now, in order for Q8 to pull the base down, a NAND gate has to have both inputs be on.
Yes.
So if we check pin 8, 9, and 10, that will tell us what that NAND gate is, if that NAND gate is truly on.
Correct. And we want it to be off.
Yeah. So let's check that one right quick. Give us a little bit of information here. Just keep following the fault back until we find it.
Yeah. 9 or 10 should be low.
Yeah. So if I check pin 8, that is at 0.695 volts. If I check pin 9 here, pin 9 is at 3.77 volts. That seems like a strange number. Pin 10 is pin 10 is low, 0.1 volts.
That's telling me that that gate is bad.
Yeah, that's sure what it sounds like to me. Because even if 3.7 volts counts as a logic high, we've got a logic high and a logic low, which means that the output should be high. And if the output is high, that 4.7K should be pulling it up to 5 volts.
Yeah. And that drawing is actually wrong. It should be a not or.
What do you mean a not or?
If you look at U4A, lower to the lower left side of U10B.
You want to demorganize it. No, I don't like demorganized.
Yeah, well, they did it here because U4A is a NAND gate, but they didn't do it there. It's weird.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think I have an LSO3. But that definitely feels like that LSO3 is not good, right? Because
few and far between.
Pin 10 was low, pin 9 was high, which means that the output should be turned off and that 4.7K should be pulling it up, unless the 4.7K is bad.
Or, since we are driving Q5 directly to the base, the emitter may be shorted to the base.
If that's the case, I wouldn't expect to see 0.6 volts.
Yeah.
Like we're saying, hey, thanks for the Prime sub hustlage.
Good point.
Yeah, we're seeing 0.6 volts on that, which says that we're seeing the diode drop across Q5 there, right?
Yeah.
But we want Q5 to be off, right? So no, actually that's fine. We want Q5 to be off.
Yeah.
Which means that so pin 10 was at whatever 3 volts or whatever.
Oh yeah, geez. It's an inverter.
Yeah, right. So pin 9 was at like 3.4 volts. Pin 10 was at 0.1 volts, right? That means that the output is high, so that 4.7K pulls it up until the transistor turns on, and then we've got a voltage divider there. So that's why we're seeing 0.6 volts. So the LSO3 is actually working correctly. We need to go back another step to the pins 12 and 13, which are coming from U5 and U12, that are pulling pin 11 low. Pin 11 needs to go high in order for pin 8 to go low and turn Q5 off.
I'm lost.
I'll post-
Yeah. Pin
Here,
8 needs to be low. Pin 8 needs to be low to turn off that Q5, letting it
Yes.
float.
Yeah.
And it is low. It is
Well,
low.
no, so it won't float because this is an open collector. So
No, I mean, no, Q5. Q5, allowing Q5 to go up.
oh yeah. So yeah, we need to pull the base of Q5 low, allowing Q5 to be pulled up to 5 volts and turn the whole thing on, right? But right now the base is being pulled up by the 4.7K because our NAND gate is not on because pin 10 is at 0.1 volts, which is being pulled low by pin 11. So we need to check pins 12 and 13. Are you following? Check the picture I posted.
Oh, okay. Do.
That makes the picture makes it a whole lot more sense.
Cancel.
So
4.7K.
we want either 12 or 13 to be low, but right now they are both high would be my guess.
They have to be both high for the output to be low.
Yeah, unless it's broken.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, both have to be high. Yeah.
Yeah, both are at 3.8 volts. All right, so let's make sure. Well, let's make sure that it's going to the same places, the same pin numbers. I can follow those traces. Because there's some strange stuff going on here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the 5-volt aux may not be at 5 volts, but because TTL will do weird things with 4.5 volts as a supply voltage.
On 5-volt aux, I've checked it a couple of times. It's at +5.
It is at 5.
Yeah, it just seems that like on this LSO3, when you have an input that's high, it only gets up to about 3.8 volts. It seems that's like this is the third time I've seen that on there.
That is definitely weird.
It just could be a quirk of the LSO3, you know. But anyways, let's trace it back to U5 and U4 here.
Okay.
So that's going to be 14, 13, 12, 11. So pin U4, 12. U4, 12. It's not U4 anymore. That's U4. Yeah, let me just type it out as actually what it is. The LSO3 pin 12 goes to the LSO3 pin 12 goes to this chip, which is a LS00, and it goes to 14, 13, 12, 11. No,
They must have used the other two. They
Yeah,
used the other pin.
it goes to 11.
Yeah.
And then the LSO3 pin 13. The
That
LSO3
goes
pin
to 74.
13
74,
goes
74.
to this guy here, which is indeed a 7474. And it goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, pin 5.
Pin 5, that's the Q output, not the Q bar. Wow.
Yeah. Let me double check that count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, pin 6 looks like a no connect.
Wow.
All right. So
Oh,
things are changing it up here.
They really weirded that thing out.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the one that says overload.
Yeah, that's a reset flip flop made out of 2 NANDs.
Yeah. So if it's getting set or not getting reset like it's supposed to, that would just hold us in overload.
It looks like a minus sign after overload, so that would indicate a low true. Which would disable the U1D.
Meatball. It's Cat Industries. This is my buddy John. This is his shirt. I wear it because it's extra long, and so that way I don't just like sit here showing you guys my butt crack all day.
Yeah, you're not a plumber.
Yeah. I specifically choose this shirt for the streams. Speaking of which, I'll move the camera so you're not actually looking at my back. All right, so what's going to reset or set this flip-flop that we're looking at here? And
Sorry about that.
It's all right. Also, presumably, the LS pin 11 is going to connect to something else as well on here, right?
Yeah.
Because that's going to be an input to something. And that's an LS00, so that's going to be 2 NAND gates. I hate demorganized.
All right.
So
I
this
gotta
is
start a new.
pin 11. What are the inputs to an LS00 pin 11? What numbers are those?
00 would be 1, 2, and 4, and 5 for the first two. And 14, 13, 11, 10, just like the 03.
No, an LS00 is going to have 12 and 13 as inputs, 11 as output.
Right.
Yeah, those were the numbers I was looking for. So what's its counterpart? Pin 11 is going to be connected up to the inputs of something else.
Methods enable. Ah, all right. One
13,
thing at a
13,
time.
12, 11. Oh, interesting. 12 and 13 are tied together.
On which chip?
On the LS double aught. It's not a set. It doesn't go straight into a set reset flip flop.
Oh, U1A. There is a 1, 2, and 3 of U1, but that's not an 00. That's an 03.
No. This is definitely we're into revision difference here. Because
Yeah.
I can follow pin 12 from our LS03, the one that's at 3.8 volts.
Yeah.
I can follow it clean over to 14, 13, 12, 11, pin 11. Of that pin 11, 12 and 13 are the inputs. They are tied together to turn that into an inverter. And they shoot off over to here. So they go off to the 121. So
Into?
there's 121. Hang on, let me count it out.
Oof.
To pin 5 of the LS 121.
That's Q output. That's the non-inverting output.
Of the LS 121? What is an LS 121?
121.
Yeah.
It's a one shot. Pin 5. Oh, okay. Pin 5. That's you showing U2 here. Okay.
That's showing an input. That's not right. Yeah, let me double check it from the top side here. We're saying that pins 12 and 13 are tied together of this LS00. That is correct. We're saying that pin 11 is connected up to the LS03, pin 12, 14, 13, 12. That is also correct. So these two that are tied together go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pin 5 of my, I swear that's a 121. My phone at.
It's a 121, yeah. That's showing U2 in the schematic.
I think we're fully off the rails at this point.
Okay. But the 121 is a one shot.
Yeah, but
Non-retriggerable.
yeah, that is a 74121N. But here's the thing: is that if it's a 74121, pin 5 is an input.
Yes.
So that's an input and an input.
There's got to be something else driving it.
Yeah. Just not great because I can't see anything else driving it.
Let's see. 74.
Oh, hang on a sec. Maybe. This is, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I gotta be looking at the wrong thing. Hang on. Something's not right here. Okay, it is pin 5, but it goes to a bunch of places. So one of the places it goes to is a capacitor. One of the ones that I could not figure out the rating on. The other place that it goes to is this guy here, which is R15. And then it goes to a resistor, which is this guy right here, which is R15, which looks like, where'd you go? Red, black. That looks like a 22 ohm. Or is that 220?
22.
It's 22.
That's 22.
Ohm.
Yeah.
Now the other side of that goes to the other side of that. Oh, it goes a bunch of places. Goes to K1 on up to another resistor, R12, and over and down to the 74LS00, a different one. Shit, okay. This goes to, double check that. So this guy goes to, that's definitely goes to K1. Our relay goes to 2 pins on K1, actually. I think. Yeah, goes to 2 pins on K1. Goes to a brown, black, brown. That's 100 ohm.
Yeah.
And it goes over to this 74LS here, which is going to be 14, 13, 12, which I think is an input. Right? 74LS00, pin 12?
Pin 12. Yes.
All right, so it has to be getting its marching orders from K1. And I don't,
Okay.
is K1 even shown on here?
I haven't seen it.
K1 would be a relay.
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible that our relay has died. And that is holding the entire thing in overload. And preventing it from turning on.
That's easy enough to check.
Yeah.
I guess K1 has 8 pins.
Yeah, all you got to do is pull the 2 cards out and then fire the coil with like a 9-volt battery or something.
Or 5. It may be a 5-volt coil.
Yeah, in that case, just a couple AA's ought to be enough to pull it over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tempted to remove K1 because I can't really get a good look at it, and it is heavily corroded.
Oh, bad news all around.
Yeah, I mean, the case of it is heavily corroded.
Could just be rotten contacts then. You think you could get some cleaner in there, flush it out?
It's a sealed
It's a
relay.
sealed. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the thing is like, when I turn the thing on, I never hear a relay click. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, it could just be that the relay doesn't click. But
it could be just a simple read, which you can barely hear anyway.
yeah.
Could you shoot a picture of your drawing, and I'll add it to CAD and send it to you.
Okay. It's not pretty.
No, that's all right. I'm used to that.
And the LS00 pin 12 that is connected up to K1 is a different LS00. I've got two 7.4 LS00s on here. I didn't mark that on my pictures there, but
Well, we can add new numbers later.
yeah. I'm pretty skeptical of K1 though.
Yeah,
we've kind of walked it back to that.
It is a weak point.
And it's one of the more heavily corroded cases. Let's see. Find a place to put this thing, man.
I don't see any relays anywhere on the D type schematics, so
Yeah, this must be a 980A special.
yeah. Still gets me that they even changed it.
And then they changed it back.
Yeah.
That's the part that chaps my ass. They were like, on the 960, they were like, yeah, this is good. And then they went to the 980A and they're like, we can make this better. And then they got to the 980B and they were like, we did not make it better.
Well, the
the
vanilla version. Go ahead.
Didn't the 980 come before the 960? I was pretty sure that was the case.
I don't remember from
Because I think
from that.
the 960 is more of like an embedded system than like a general purpose mini like the 980.
Well, the 960 was basically a general purpose, but just not as robust in my memory.
Yeah, it was a general purpose machine, but they sold it more for like industrial use than as a general purpose mini. At least that's what I thought.
Okay, you may be absolutely correct. I didn't really get that much into them when I was working there, but because when I was working at TI in Houston, all I had access to was the 980s, and hadn't even heard of the 960 until I moved out west to the digital systems division. Glorified board swapper, which I hated because I'm used to component level. That was the first I heard of the 960s. So, and I worked on a few 960s, and they, as robust as these machines were, they just they very seldom ever failed. I had a memory problem with one 980, swapped the board out. Actually, I swapped the board out. In Houston, I went through the memory diagnostics and replaced a memory chip, but that was it. But both of the ones that I worked with at TI in Houston were both 980As. And from what I've heard on chat here, the 980 was a core system, so I don't know.
Actually, maybe both. If looking at the dates on the manuals on bit savers, they might have come out around the same time.
Could
I
be.
thought the 980 was slightly older, but maybe I'm wrong on that.
I don't know. I just don't know.
I just wish we had proper documentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and also more software for it as well.
Yeah, yeah. I have no idea what we've got for the 980.
Because yeah, like the only software I've seen is like a modern implementation of Forth. The original OSs seem to be all lost.
Really? DS1? I think it was.
DX980 was like
DS180, that's right. Yeah.
okay, we got plenty of OSs for the 990 preserved.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. The 990 seems like it was a much more popular is not the right word, a much higher selling machine. It sold in larger numbers.
Yeah. We had a 980 on the seismic ship I was on with U.S. Geological Survey, and they were just using that to with analog to digital converters to record. Basically, the ship had multiple noise generators from high frequencies down to very low frequencies. And the microphones that were used to listen to what came up from the bottom, reflected from the bottom, up to, I think, 1.5 miles to 2 miles below the surface is what was recorded. And it showed on the live recordings that we had basically a script chart that basically it scanned across, and the longer it took, the deeper it was, and you could actually see faults as it was being picked up. It was weird, wild anyway.
I don't think I'm fully free yet. Yeah. Still got a little bit.
Relay royal pain.
Yeah, if I have to replace this, we got to get inventive. I highly doubt I'll be able to find a.
Was it 6 pins?
8.
8.
Yeah, there's a little diagram on the side of it that shows you what the pin layout and the coil layout is, but it's so corroded that I can't quite see it. That I really want to get it out and get a nice. It's also very small, and my eyes are straining. So I want to get it out and get a nice high resolution picture of it, and then maybe we can figure out, what it's supposed to be, and then maybe we can come up with an alternative. If the relay's bad, if we can figure out what it's supposed to be, we can also test it on the bench. There's only 8 pins, so I didn't want to get the full desoldering iron out, but maybe I should have. Oh, that looks like I've got it.
Where's Discord? Did I close that accidentally? I did. Schematic.
Come on. I can see that the solder is mostly gone. What are you still holding on to?
Be careful of the feed through or the plated through holes.
Yeah, I think I've just got just a little bit of solder inside the plated through holes that's holding on a little tight. But I mean, I can see not daylight, but I can see the emptiness around all 8 pins, so we're close. I mean, at this point in time, a proper desoldering iron wouldn't make much of a difference. I think we're just barely holding on in just a few of these. Maybe this one here. Or this guy here. Yeah, I just gotta break the pins. The pins are just like barely touching the insides of the plated through holes.
Yeah.
What I find sometimes helps is to take a screwdriver and just push them off the side.
Yeah, the pins are fat is the problem.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, I just had to kind of wiggle it back and forth. We're really loose now. There it goes. All 8 pins out.
Good.
Didn't lift a trace or anything.
Nice.
Let me get a nice picture of this thing. Jeez, it is in kind of very super mega rough shape.
Doesn't look like the plated through holes really were needed. No traces on the top.
Yeah, well, there's no traces, but it does go to ground. So 2 of the pins are going to the ground plane.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 of the pins definitely need to come through. All right. I doubt that anybody will ever be able to find a data sheet for this guy. Like, I can't even rock the pinout here.
Oh, wow.
I said it, like, it was corroded. Yeah, it's General Electric. I got that much. And I can see AV128 something A2 on it.
Oh, wow.
Look at the bigger concern is the corrosion at the base.
Yeah.
That may have made its way inside. I can remove the little mica footprint cover. But other than that, it is a sealed unit. But yeah, here, with the mica off, look at this. I bet you there's some corrosion growing inside, messing stuff up.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, Pentium, that looks real close.
Yeah.
3SAV. We got a slightly different number after that, but the SAV looks the same. I've got a 128 something A2. That looks, the one that you posted a picture of, Pentium, was a 1338 A2. So SAV 128 128A2, I think is what I've got. 1288A2 versus 1338A2. Does that picture that you found? No, there you go. That's what I was looking for. The top side of it. See if that layout looks the same as the layout that I've got.
3 and 4. Kind of looks like it.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. It certainly looks like 7 to 3 is going to be my coil. And I should have connection between 6 and 8 right now. Let me get different clippy clips here. Like let's at least see, like let's see if we've even got our normally closed connections doing normally closed stuff. Because I think that's the same pinout. The coil voltage might be slightly different. And I have no idea what the coil voltage of this one should be. But if I check pin 8 here with pin 6, that should be a connection, which it is. And if I check pin 4 with pin 2, that should be a connection, which it is. Okay. So 7 and 3 should be our coil. So if I check the resistance across 7 and 3 here, I've got 306 ohms. That seems
sounds
coily.
about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question is, are our normally open contacts doing normally open stuff? So let me turn off the key sight here and pull out the bench supply, and we'll throw 5 volts into it and see if we can get it to click. I can't imagine this thing needing less than 5 volts.
No.
As a matter of fact, we'll probably just ramp it up slowly. So we're going to take you and you. We're going to move you over to here. You guys have a weird view. Over to here and here. So the coil might be coiling, and it might be clicking off like it's supposed to. But we may also have the contacts inside may be so corroded that our normally open contacts aren't connecting. Which would be 1 and 6. So let's test that. So there's 6. And there's 1. All right, let's put you on. Let's put you on. Turn this guy off. Oh, it's such a tiny little relay. All right, that's showing as open, which is what it's supposed to show. Oh, I need to put a power into this thing. All right. So we'll come up to. There's 5 volts.
Oh, 5. Okay.
5 didn't click over. So what's our next guess? What was the part number on it? Oh yeah, no, Pentium, I said 300 and something ohms. Like 305 ohms. Yeah, 12 volts is a solid guess for 300 ohms. 26 volts seems like it would be excessive for 300 ohms. The coil, I don't think is directional. I've never seen a coil be directional. So
That may have an internal diode, but it doesn't show it.
yeah. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, at 6 volts, it
Well,
kicks off.
Or 6.
Yeah, it just didn't want to. Now it doesn't want to unkick. No, it's stuck on. There we go. So it kicked on at 6 volts and then it never kicked off again until I removed power.
Okay. Yeah, that
so
kind of makes sense.
there we go. At 5 volts, boom, it kicked on. But now if I come all the way down to 1.7 volts, it stays on.
That makes sense.
Well,
It'll hold.
Go ahead.
It'll hold it with a lower voltage than what it takes to attract the read or whatever it is to the pole.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that, I've heard of that before, but like 1 volt is like down to 1 volt is awfully low.
Yeah. Pretty small armature though, so I don't know. It's hard to say.
All right, let's check the other one. That would be 2 and 5. There we go. Yeah, there it goes. Oh, this time it unclicked. That time it unlatched. Like, I swear the first time I did this, I had it up at 5 volts and it did not click over.
Yeah.
Which is making me wonder if by bumping it up to 6 volts, we broke it free on the inside.
Could be.
Now it seems to be kicking on and off like it's supposed to. It's not even holding. It drops off when I get below like 3 volts or so.
Can you hear it when it clicks in?
Yeah, I can hear it click. So yeah, drop below 2 volts and it shuts off, which it absolutely did not do before.
Yeah.
get to 5 volts pretty much on the money and it kicks on. Yeah, I wonder if the power supply just could never supply enough oomph to break it free. And now that we've broken it free, it'll work fine.
Yeah, but it's an iffy thing. You might put it in and let it go for the time being and see if you can find a replacement and then replace it later.
Yeah, I think I might try that.
It's likely to go bad.
Yeah, I tell you what, let's slip it back in, see if behavior changes any at all. And if behavior doesn't change any at all, then, you know, we're barking up the wrong tree. If behavior does change, then we need to look into potentially getting a replacement in the future. But the relay definitely was doing different things depending on how I was operating it. Like it started off not doing anything. Unfortunately, I did not, I think it was in this orientation. I'm pretty sure it was in that orientation. I don't think I have a photo of the board.
Okay, I'm playing with the color balance and an image editor, way zoomed in, trying to work out what letters I'm looking at here. I think I have the letter to the left of A is still, I'm still working on that, but I think I have AV128GA2.
Okay.
And the thing to the left of the A, it might be an S, but it looks more like there's some line parts to it. Like it could be like an N, a W, or a V. Or possibly nothing at all. But if it was nothing at all, the centering looks weird. There may even have been 2 characters there, like S something AV, because there's a fragment of a lower curve that could be an S or a 5 or a 6. One character width left of, like underneath the E and the N where General Electric would be. There's something there. But whatever's before the A is definitely not a 0. It's definitely a letter.
All right, there we go. All right, well, that's a lot easier to solder in than it is to solder out. All right. Here goes nothing. Now, I suppose if I just check across here and here. No, that looks like the same behavior. Our output voltage is at like 3.5 volts.
Can you check voltage across the pins that should be connected on the relay?
Well, the common is ground, so if I check voltage across, I'm never depending. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, since the common's ground, you know, I suppose if one of them is high, then we'll see that. But
Yeah.
The other thing I would look for is what's on the coil pins. I wonder if it's not being fired.
True.
so I think this is the coil, which has, that doesn't seem right. That says 34 volts across
What?
the coil. That doesn't seem correct. I don't think that's the coil. I think I was looking at something else. I think that's probably what we were shifting. I think I may have. I think this one might be the coil then. If that's the coil, it says 0 volts.
That would explain why we don't hear a relay make.
Well, I don't think I'd be able to hear it when it's in there. It's very quiet. I think that's it. If it's not those two, it's these two.
Ah. Blue bead.
These two are also 0 volts. So the relay never gets a signal to trigger. And since the relay is not on the schematic, we're going to have to trace it back by hand.
Yeah.
Fun. And I got to figure out which two are the actual coil. Look at this picture here. It's gonna go like that. Well, I mean, it's those two are those two. It's the only options it can be, and those are 0 volts. So if the relay never kicks off, that would imply. So yeah, it's either this one and this one, which measure out to 0 volts, or it's this one and this one, which also measure out to 0 volts. So yeah, never get anything across the relay, which is preventing 35 volts from going somewhere. Which says that something is not driving the relay. So let's figure out what drives the relay. Sure do wish that we had a wish that we had the schematic for this. All right. Which two
Oh, I
is
just got it.
So that's gonna be. Oh man, I still don't know. I think it's this one and this one. the heck are you? Oh, take it easy, Bob. You should have jumped in, man. Okay, so I think the relay is being driven by a 2N2102, which is Q10 here. Yeah, I can see a pin from the 2102 directly to the relay coil, it looks like. And so I don't know what a 2102 is. Is that a PNP or an NPN?
I don't know. Not a familiar transistor. Let me look it up.
That would be an NPN.
Ah, you got it already.
Yeah. So on an NPN, the tab is the emitter. Is the tab always the emitter, whether it's NPN or PNP?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be the emitter. Your base, your collector. All right, let's check this transistor, see what the emitter, base, and collector are sitting at, and that'll tell us if the transistor is even getting triggered. I guess versus logic ground, logic common. So emitter is at 0.00 volts.
Okay.
Collector's at 35 volts.
Wow. So that relay is 35 volts, but it pulls in at 5
At
volts.
5, yeah. And then the base is at 0.0 volts.
Which would turn it off.
Oh, okay, I got it. So there's 35 volts passing through the coil into the transistor, and then the transistor, when it turns on, pulls it down to effectively ground.
Yep.
Okay, so the base is at 0 volts, which is turning the NPN off. So that relay never kicks on. I don't know if it's supposed to, but it doesn't.
Where is it coming from?
I don't know if my breaker is still alive. Yeah, okay, we're good. All right, let me pop it out and see if I can figure out where it's coming from here. I mean, again, that might be totally normal behavior. It may not supposed to turn on. It goes to a yellow, purple, brown. I think that's a 470 ohm, maybe a 47 ohm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I checked through the parts list to see if I could find any reference at all to any relay or reed switch or anything like that, and didn't get anything.
No.
Okay, it's coming from some ICs. So it's coming from our 7403 pin.
Which which I see
4,
number.
5, 6. Pin 6. Whatever the open collector NAND is.
Yeah, that's an 03.
Yeah, and it's going to pin 6 of that.
What U number is it? If you can get a chance to look at it.
I don't think it matches. My U numbers don't match
No,
for those.
I'm trying to get it onto KiCad.
Oh, it's a Z1. Doesn't even use U's.
Z1.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make it U1 on here. Come on. Oh, U1.
Yeah, so that's going to be the LSO3 pin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's going to be, what are you? The 121, which is U3.
Oh.
It's going to be the 121 pins 3 and 4. Now
3
it feels
and 4 are input.
so 3 and 4 are inputs. The 03 though, pin 6 on an 03 is an output. And pins 4 and 5 are tied together to pin 3. So pins 1 and 2 are the ultimate input to this. I need a new piece of paper. Oh, this is...
Pins 4 and 5 are tied to pins 3 and 4 of the 121.
No. I was talking about the LSO3.
Right.
Oh, but yeah. So, well, hang on. So on the LS, this is for the what that's Q10, which is the 2N 2102. And then that comes out of U, out of Q10.
Oh.
Has a pull up. And then goes into
The relay.
well, yeah, but I'm going the backwards direction from that. It goes into the output of the LSO3, which is an open collector NAND. So it's going to be pin 6. And then it also goes down to the LS121 pins 2, 3, and 4.
Two, 3, and 4 of use.
No.
Of
Just
121.
Yeah, just 3 and 4 of the 121.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the input, pin 6 has 2 inputs, 5 and 4.
Yeah.
And they're tied together. And they connect up to pin 3 of the same chip, which is the output that has pins 1 and 2 as its inputs.
Okay, that's the same LSO3.
Yeah. Now the LSO3 gates that we were looking at before never touched, never got down into this region.
Okay.
So pins 1 and 2 go off in multiple directions. So pin 2 actually goes to the next IC over, which is an LS00. and it goes to pin 1, 2, pin 3 of an LS00.
Pin one of the 03 goes to pin 3. Did you say of the 00?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, pin 2 of the 03 goes to pin 3 of the 00.
02. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then pin 1 goes off to a via.
Off to a via.
Yeah, we'll see if I can follow it. Oh, yeah, it goes to pin 1 of a different LS00.
Uh-oh.
So this one is U2. This one is U1, U1. And then it goes up to pin 1 of U4. Oh, but pin 1 is also an input.
Right.
So it has to go someplace else from there, too. And it does indeed. That is pin 1 of U4. Pin 1 of U4, pin 1 of U4 goes over to 1, 2, 3, pin 4 of the 74LS74. Pin 4 being a input as well. Jesus. So it must also go somewhere from there.
Yeah.
Right. Either that or I can't count. Yeah, it must go someplace else from there. And of course I can't see it. God, this is very complex.
Yeah.
I'm having a rough go of it. Let's see here. Yeah, that is pin 1, 2, and yeah, 1, 2. No. What the heck? What am I doing here? I think I'm on the wrong stuff. Yeah, 7474 pin 1 is gonna be over here. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there we go. That's pin 4, which goes over to pin 1. It's on pin 4. All right. Oh, that's where I'm coming from, which is pin 1 of the LS03. Okay. It's not coming from anything else. So I've just got 3 inputs. That doesn't make any sense. Right, let me double check some stuff here. So the LS03 pin 1 goes to U4 pin 1.
Oh,
Nope, that's
really?
not right. Nope, hang on, I'm on the wrong. Yeah. So U1 pin 1 goes to U4 pin 1. Goes
Wait a minute.
to... Yeah. U5 pin 4. Again, still an input though. Have not found an output that feeds these. Yep, your pin 1. Ooh, where does that via go? Oh, it snakes all over the dang place. Is that right? That doesn't seem right. That's gotta be it. All right, this really just got a whole lot more complicated. So it goes to about 6 more places. Yeah, a little mica cap. 2N222 looks like.
Oh,
Maybe 2N222s. And maybe a 2N1711 or whatever the big guy is. 711. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down and actually trace that out and reverse engineer it.
yeah.
Because it goes to a lot of other places. And so if any one of those things isn't triggering it, it'll never go through. It'll never go through and trigger our relay.
Ah, good. Take a picture of that.
Yeah, I'm posting it up right now. There we go.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to throw in the towel here. It's getting late. Dang, man. I really thought that we were gonna get there today.
No, we're getting a lot closer.
yeah, we're making progress.
Yeah, we're slowly chasing down potential faults. I mean, I do think that the relay is not kicking off because of, you know, we saw, where's that other paper that I had? Yeah, we saw that K1 is important for the LS121 and the LS03 pin 11, maybe the LS double aught pin 11, which goes to the LS03 pin 12, which is part of this massive long chain that keeps Q5 from turning off. So if Q1 isn't doing what it's supposed to do, then, or not Q1, if K1, the relay, isn't doing what it's supposed to do, that would hold the entire power supply off. And it looks like K1 is being triggered via this way. Now, I don't know if K1 is like triggering immediately and we're just not seeing it and it's doing what it's supposed to do. So we still could be like barking up the complete wrong tree here. Pin 12. So, but this is quite a complex chain of things to trigger that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not just pin 1, I say pin 1 goes to a bunch of transistors and whatnot, but pin 2 also goes to a NAND gate that goes off to who knows where, right? So that could, we could have a bad signal on one of those as well. Like, this is a very complex overload circuit that we're seeing here that's just shutting the whole thing down.
Wow.
Yeah, sure would be nice if we had the actual schematics instead of having to reverse engineer stuff. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. It's 1:30, so I am going to call it a night, Twitch. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you next week.